Hi Leo, and welcome to your general reading here for August 2021. This is for Leo energy, and that is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, any kind of placement basically. And you know the drill, take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest. Never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. Alright, what are we going to do this time? We're going to try something new, something a little bit experimental, meaning that I'm going to start off by doing an oracle message, and then we proceed to the monthly reading that I normally do for you. I will put a timestamp below for you if you just want to skip up to the tarot reading. Do whatever you feel like, right? But let me know in the commentary if you got anything, if you watched the oracle, if you got anything from it, right? And yeah, of course, as always, if you like the content here, please like the video. I would very, very, very much appreciate your support, Leo. Now let's get started. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Also keep in mind, monthly reading, right? So it's an energy playing out throughout the month. Now the oracle here, what is the oracle about? It's basically just to see if there's a message coming through from spirit or something, whatever, right? It's a little convo energy. It also sets up the tone for the other reading, most likely. We're going to start by pulling a tarot here, next roll tarot. Leo, any oracle message here for Leo in the month of August? For Leo, anything for the Leo here? Show me Leo. Anything for the Leo. Leo. Show me the Leo. There were two. Suspension and the Three of Swords. So that was what I got. No, there's nothing to talk about. But maybe there is. Alright, it may just be for some. If everything is If everything is just jolly molly holly whatever for you, this oracle may not be for you, because it is for Three of Swords, Suspension, and Hangman. But let's just check it out. Let's just check it out and see what we got. Yeah, right? We may be surprised. Nine of Wands. Okay, Nine of Wands. Okay, you know what? Let's lay it out. But the Three of Swords and the Neptunian energy here is actually it is a restriction, right? It's having to deal with pain. It's having to deal with restriction. It is the energy here of dealing with no, basically, right? Of dealing with no, of dealing with disappointment, of having restrictions taking place, but to not let it, but to not be thrown out by it. Easier said than done, I know. But it's not to be thrown out of a no. It's not to be thrown out of it, having you become, lose your mind, so to say. Not that you're going to, but it's not letting pain dictate. It's continuing to move forward even though there's disappointment. But there's also something here about looking at a situation in a different light. I keep getting that someone here is blocking some sort of a communication. But let's see what shows up. We're gonna pull out the oracles here. It's just now we set the tone. Let's start by pulling a soul lesson for the Leos here. Coming here for the oracle message. Leos, we have an acceptance and we have a service underneath. Acceptance, I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. I'm starting to love all the things that I used to hate. I just got that song here. Anyway, I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Accepting and pain and rejection and a no is part of life. How are we going to experience the joys of getting a yes if we haven't experienced the sadness that comes with a no? Well, let's see. Here we have imagine. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Sarcasm there. Anyway, sorry. Imagine. I'm gonna lay out all the energies here and then we're gonna talk about it, right? Acceptance and imagining, which comes with this suspension energy up there, right? It's almost like accepting the situation for what it is. I keep repeating myself here. But then imagining other opportunities being available. Doing so in a very realistic way, right? Hopefully. Let's see. Let's lay out all the other energies here. We have second chakra. That is showing up quite a lot, the second chakra. That's the need to belong here. The need to belong, the desire to be with another person or just in general. And also one here about validation. Of feeling validated. That is where the pain comes from here, get here. If you find yourself in this pain, it's not, I mean, does it look comfortable? No, it doesn't. It may come from being wounded or being hurt, or meaning that the rejection or the no here, it affects your desire to belong, to connect with someone. In particular, it may even hurt you if it feels as though it's a rejection of who you are. Right? Is someone here rejecting you for who you are? Not that it's going to happen, but this is the message that comes here. If you feel this pain, it may feel as though because you feel rejected for who you are, not for what you do, but for who you are. Something you can't change about yourself, right? And that is very, very, that's not unpleasant energy. And that's something to validate within yourself, right? Let's see here, what else do we have for the Leo? Show me Leo Oracle message. It's a time for healing, the balsamic moon, and it's a time to give rather than take. We have definitely some sort of a Virgo energy here. Virgo Saggy underneath the deck. And what does that? Because here there's a time to give rather than take. And I feel good when I can help others. It may be that you may feel sometimes a little bit rejected on your desire here, or your capacity to help people. It's something that when you give it from the authentic place of yourself, right? You give something from your truest, from your bottom of your heart. It's like the child here doing this drawing, and it's an expression of themselves. They're giving something that's an expression. It's a do we call it like an extension of yourself. And then you give it to someone that's a little bit cold, or they don't understand the value it has for you, how big of a gift it is for you to give, and they just take the drawing and throw it into the trash, right? That feels like a devaluation. So if you feel this, if you feel at some point here a little disappointed, where this Three of Swords come in here, it may be because of that. Meaning it's being like a rejection of who you are. I keep repeating myself here, right? It's almost like that's actually something, an oracle message that's easy to connect with here. But let's see what else we get. Show me more here. And then we have It Is What It Is, and we have Birds of a Feather. Again, it is wanting to connect to some sort of a community. Right? Feeling connected by helping other people. Something about sharing your wisdom at some here as well, right? Leo. That's where we have the Sagittarius energy. But let's start reading. Let's read on this imagination. Or imagine. That is the first. Let's see what we get from the scripture. Imagine. And that is number 40. Oh God, it's so warm. Are you insane? 40. Are you imagining a connection here with like a soulmate? I don't know. No, it's not 40. It's 20. God, I'm so far ahead in time here. Imagine turning imagination into suspension, creative thought and visualization, the power of aligning imaginary and feelings, creativity, illusions. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you believe in order to have the life you want? Were you gifted with the power to imagine? If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is key to manifesting the life you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Alright, I'm just gonna throw here, right? Whatever, something here about delivering the images you need to feed your soul. Then allow the feelings to mingle with your inspirations and imagine those things being real right now. This is the typical manifestation technique of visualization, right? Meaning that if you can see it, bringing it forth into the light here. The vision board, right? You can Google what on earth the vision board is about. But the thing about those, alright, I'm just gonna throw it out here. There's also something here about, I will always say to also remember to stay realistic, right? But you know what? In matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about a person as a means of connecting to that person. While that is romantic, if you want a relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. Relationships are about relating. So step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life and you will be changed for the better. Imagine that. It's a powerful time to get clear about how it is that you want to create your prosperity. What does it mean to be prosperous, and what are the attributes you need to develop in yourself to make this happen? What do you need to be able to live out your dreams? Can you imagine the kind of desire, like really imagining without holding back? It's using this imaginative energy, this Neptunian energy, this very flowy energy, by the way. Neptunian energy can feel somewhat how can I explain it? The Neptunian energy is something you gotta sometimes be careful with, because sometimes it flows into it flows in a way where it risks distorting reality, right? Illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack have entered your life. Now may the time to see things as they truly are and not as you hoped or imagined they would be. That's when that's when the Neptunian energy goes a little bit, yeah. Right, but the thing about here, Neptunian is a way of also then using that energy to look inside yourself, figuring out ways of doing things different. It's like using it to think outside the box a little bit. But yeah. Just be mindful of what it is that you're projecting. Like I can say like that. If it is that you are envisioning someone to be an absolute asshole, then guess what? They're gonna show up as an asshole. They will show up exactly as you want them to. But that also means that, by the way, in some cases, not that this is maybe for you, but in some cases, we can also then bring the illusion here, right? Someone is an absolute prince and princess charming when they are in fact an asshole, right? You know, so then they will show up like that. Except they won't do that energetically speaking. But in your visions, oh, I hate when the Neptunian shows up like this, because that's when it starts getting flowy and there's not really any real boundary. You know what? That's where the Three of Swords comes in as a way of saying, is putting on the boundaries. That is what makes the Three of Swords painful to deal with, is that it brings the boundary. If you have an illusion, we want to live in the illusion, then the Three of Swords comes here and sets up the boundary. And Nine of Wands here as well also brings up the boundary, and that brings an end to illusion, right? So it's almost like a way of saying, if you have a vision board or something like that, that's very fine, but remember to keep it realistic. In all cases, there's always something to learn from the experience, and I sense here for you, what you may be imagining is this, or imagining what is it you're envisioning is people relating to each other. It is an absolute time for healing, but it's almost like trying to heal it. Whenever you may try to heal it, it's like it's met with a closed door. It is what it is. It's a message here of saying, when faced with a closed door, maybe it's not meant for you to open. Let's quickly look into this Archangel in the 6th chakra here, right? Oh, second. And then we're probably going to move on to your general reading. She's a number 36. This can be, it's an intimacy, creativity. Can also be about creativity being blocked. In that case, think about taking more risk and open up to new different ideas. Go inside, find a feeling that may be causing blockages. That's only if it is that you're experiencing blockages, right? It is creative and self-nurturing energy. It's a time when energy of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. But if you allow it, right? But does anyone know when people who live in the creative energy, creativity is such a flowing energy that there comes a point when, you know, bringing in that boundary to bring it into reality brings pain. Is having, because that means we have to let go of all the other potentials that are there to bring something into reality as a real matter or real thing, we gotta set up that boundary. It's making the decision basically of saying, this is what I want to manifest, this is the reality I want, and then I'm saying no to that reality, the other reality. That doesn't mean you can't revisit them later on, but there's a full acceptance here in that there may be something that you can't change. I think the oracle message is that acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change, although it brings this sadness here, right? And saying goodbye to some sort of a fantasy. It's a time for healing. Accept a closed door for what it is. And now we are moving on to your general reading. But remember, at the other side of that door is a lot of there are other good things, right? And by the way, just know, I feel as though there's something here you can't control. There's something that's out of your control in it. Meaning that there may be someone else that's influencing it and you can't control it. Although you may want to believe you can, remember that everyone has a free will. Alright, we're just going to start by pulling a keynote before we start laying out the tarot. We have here political awareness and thriving. What is that? That has something to do, it's time to pay attention to how the dynamics that shape your environment, right? Meaning the environment that influences the space that you are living in. It's not politics. Political awareness has nothing to do with politics. It has something to do with an understanding of power mechanisms, the dynamics that shape our reality, right? And especially how the environment that you live in, which you have some sort of an influence over, right? As long as you're in it, how that then shapes your reality. For instance, let's say that you live in an energetic environment where a typical one, let's give the example here where you're tired of all the fuckboy fuckgirl energy, right? That's an example here. You're tired of it, you don't want to be part of it if you're single and you're dating. But you live in a time frame, you live in an environment where participating in a dating culture where it is permitted again and again and again, right? By just letting people get away with it, or letting just not speaking up, or not them, you yourself standing up against it, but just letting it flow. Well, then in that case, that energy is allowed to flow and to continue. It is when people stop saying no. It's just the ripple effect, and that's how this energy is going to stop. It's the power dynamic, right? It's like, I am tired of living in this where people are becoming more and more spoiled and entitled to do whatever they want. Yes, but it's also then understanding, if you want to change that, stop by you yourself showing up in the world as the way that you want to be treated. But it's very different. It's not always easy, right? Other than that, I do sense here that there's energy here for most of you Leos that you are actually thriving, despite what just showed up in the other reading where you had this Three of Swords. But who knows, maybe it's you saying no. Let's see what we have for Leo here in August. That's it. Leo, show me Leo in August here. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Nine of Swords. Oh, the messages. Oh, the communication coming your way, Leo. Oh no. Let's get our little green light here going. Fireworks. Would you believe it? I forgot to buy candles. Oh, there's still a little light there. There's still a little light. Let's keep you supported. Okay. Right. Yes, as I said, the communication definitely showing up here. Are you dealing with a Capricorn? Devil, Three of Swords. I can understand you, Devil. That Capricorns can be awful. No, sorry, that was just a joke there. Let's leave that Devil there. Let's look here at the well, let's look here at the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. That is an opportunity that's delayed. Right? It's wanting to get something started. It's just not happening. The opportunity is on the table. We see that. Otherwise, the Ace of Pentacles wouldn't be here. But it's delayed. The soil is not fertile for this practical opportunity to grow yet. Because it is something practical. With the Devil here, it might have to do with your career. But sacrifices in career, I don't know. It is crossed by the Knight of Swords. Well, that's interesting. Something is gonna come in here quicker than you expect. Well, let's see here. In the recent past, we have Temperance. That is a long period of time here of just waiting. Right? It may have felt like that, but you're just waiting, especially when I look at the Hanged Man in the reverse. That's one of those situations here, similar to what I went kind of sensed in the Oracle, of feeling as though the world is not working with you. Right? The world is not working with you. How can you make things grow if the world is not working with you? I'm gonna be honest with you. With the Hanged Man, yes, there is a situation here where there's something you can't control. You can't control your environment. Is it annoying? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do see here that you are somewhat fearful that things are not gonna come forward. It's not really gonna... Where's this expansion coming? When is it coming? You want something to come back to you. You may have sent out some sort of a communication. You want that communication to come back. You want the energies to come back your way. But you may be fearing here, or not worried about whether or not this is going to. Where is that communication? Where are those energies that you're sending? Are there the good vibrations here, right? Where are they? I see that being what you're a little bit worried about here. Hell, for some of you, it's like a holiday. Can you go travel? Especially if it's overseas, like worried about can you go overseas? Because that's very specific. Now, let's see here again to the recent past. That's why I'm always pulled here. Why am I that? Because of it's a major arcana. And it's Temperance. It's a long... The Temperance energy, to me as a reader, is one of the slowest. Believe it or not, despite it being Sagittarius being a very quick energy, Temperance is always like a slow-ass moving energy. It's something about tempering oneself, yes. Learning all those lessons, yes. And being enlightened, yes. And ups and downs in life, yes. Learning from it, gaining wisdom, yes. But you know what? Considering the fact with this Ace of Pentacles here, being in the reverse, I can understand if you find yourself frustrated. Your focus here is the King of Swords. Communicating very, very clearly. Now, is this another person? That's a very good question. Is it another person? Capricorn, Aquarius, Cusper. This King of Swords here. It may be, Leo. Maybe. In that case, it's that you may be dealing here with a person who is smart, fair. It's not gonna lie. The way this person here communicates is very, very fair. He is, however, not particularly emotional. He's not. This King of Swords will speak as the truth. He's not gonna lie. He's gonna be very transparent. If you want a truthful answer, let's say if you ask him a question and you want a truthful answer, he's going to tell you the truth, even if it is going to hurt you. He's not a liar. So that's always with the King of Swords. If you don't want the truth, don't ask him. And if this has something to do with whether or not you're wondering if there could be something long term with this bloke here, be it a boss or be it in love, You know, it may actually be someone you may consider working with, right? It doesn't have to be in love. This King of Pentacles may actually say no. Here in August, he may, because with this Ten of Pentacles and in reverse, the Emperor in the reverse and the Nine of Pentacles, this shows up as someone here who's not really interested in taking on a position of having a lot of responsibility for other people. Someone here who prefers to be independent. It's someone here who may look at a situation where, all right, they want to have like long-term prosperity and all of that, but they may look at the situation and then say, you know what, I don't feel as though the last pentacle is here. Of course, this could be your energies, right? It could be your energies that you are looking at a situation here. You're worried that whatever it is that you place out into the world, the energies, the work you place out here, whatever it is that you give out, is not going to come back. It's not going to return in with the prosperity that you're hoping for. So your response is going to be that you're going to go at things alone here. It's rather than make a bad investment where there's not going to be this long-term prosperity. Gotta be honest though, it shows up a little bit up as though it's maybe another person, but let's see. There we get parental review also. And we have Fake Tales of San Francisco. Right. For some of you, this is, by the way, also a father. Someone here, there's a father energy. Meaning that you could be dealing... Yeah, you could actually be dealing with a father. Person who is a father. You place that as it resonates. Your father, someone else's father, whatever. And then in that, the father of your children, whatever. In that case, you are definitely looking at whether or not they are providing. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? What's coming up for you? Now we have the good energies, right? We have, for some reason or another, is this a crush or is it an apology? That's a very, 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 very good question. This is a communication coming in. It's a small, heartfelt communication. It may be from a child. And most likely outcome is the same. It's the same curiosity here. It's such a small communication. See, that's the thing here. Leo, if you are expecting someone here to show up in your life as being very adult here, as being more than they actually are, I see them showing up with the page. Alright, these are small communications. Oh my god, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, it keeps showing up. Oh my god, I should probably do bloody stalk, although I already did, but I think I deleted it. Because it was very, very long, it was like an hour long, that reading. Anyway, yes, there is something here that's just not growing. There's a miscommunication. I don't know if it's in your work situation. You have this weird energy where something here doesn't really have that solid ground that it can work on. I get that. And there's a miscommunication there. It's just not there, right? But then I see you the way that you place attention somewhere else. That has a possibility of growing somewhere else, be it in work most likely. Anyway, in your surroundings we have a Knight of Cups. This is someone here coming with an offer. There's movement, there's an offer here coming your way. A sweet, heartfelt communication. Is that an apology for some of you? It's a crush energy, right? The Knight of Cups brings news of emotional value, and so does the Page of Cups. It's of emotional and creative value. It's not gonna be a big show, okay, Leo? It's just they are pages. What you don't see here is the Six of Pentacles. As I said, it's a small offer. Is there something petty about it? I don't know. It's just it may not be as big as you expect. Okay? Show me this King of Swords. Now show me this Ace of Pentacles. It's a victory. And patience. Oh my god, this bloody patience. Do you see these two looking like each other? Almost. Patience, patience, patience. Strategically, it's like it's in a strategy here of waiting for something. Pulling on your strength, yin yang, blah blah blah. I don't know if there's someone here. Yes, there's like this thinking person who's somewhat indecisive. But we do have this King of Swords, who is a storm warning. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let me say it as it is. This King of Swords, he is a bloody storm warning. Why? Because he speaks his fucking truth. It's almost like he wants to he's going to say something. He's going to open the doors into other opportunities available. It's like going back and seeing, all right, which doors were closed in the past, which can be opened again. It's someone who gives advice, right? He gives advice, but he's... I mean, buckle up when you talk with him, because he's not here to soothe anyone's ego. He's very, very self-reliant. Now, how on earth is that gonna, yeah, it may, it's like asking someone for why am I not getting victory in some sort of somewhere? Why is this not happening? Well, guess what? I will tell you, but he's going to tell you the bloody truth, okay? He's no sugarcoater. So if you find yourself in an energy where you sometimes, would like to point outwards or go into this energy here, it's not always my fault, because I do see you being hung up by circumstances. It's something you can't control, but what you can control is how you decide to look at it. He will call you out on it. I'm just saying it. Especially if he's a Capricorn. Because then you're getting the good Cappy, which is the blunt, no bullshit, insensitive. Okay, that's just saying it. I still see you thriving. I see you being capable of dealing with it. Right? It's almost like you understand this energy. You know you're bound to it. May break your heart sometimes, but you know what? Fuck that. You're still gonna pull through, even though it's like. Annoying. Now let's look up the Page of Cups here, so we can finish this reading. Show me this Page of Cups. So there we have this second chakra again. Oh, some of you pregnant? Patience, fucking patience. Looking into the future. Okay, you know what? It's a sweet felt communication. What's in the communication? I want to hold on, but I still want to look into I can't, but it's like, oh, okay, let me just get it. I get a communication here saying, I want to try, I want to hold on, it's like, I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I can't. I have to. I'm looking into the future here right now. I'm afraid of opening up, because I have just regained some sort of a stability. And if I pay attention to this, is it going to abandon me? So it says, I want to, but I can't, because someone here is afraid of losing out of their stability. Nonetheless, that's for those of you where it's a communication. For others of you, this is a crush, all right? This is a crush and being curious about someone and then investigating, figuring out if what could happen here. But in that case, if you're going to find yourself with a secret admirer, or you being the secret admirer, you place yourself there. Someone here is just not gonna bloody hell open up. That is, again, this energy of I can't. I want to, but I can't. Why? It's almost an energy here of, it's holding on, right? It's holding on, not really opening up either. And standing there and gazing into the future, but they're not really paying attention to what is right in front of them. And there's an energy here going back and forth. Back and forth. Remember, this is a predictive energy, right? So, yeah. This really plays out because I get a very, very specific message, meaning that for some this is like a positive pregnancy test. But not opening up, not telling people about it. That's for some, that's so specific, right? What's up the Page of Swords there? Yep, and then I get here the most likely outcome is this communication, small communication saying a situation here is over. It's coming quickly, and there's something here's just not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow. There is an energy here about continuing to give a little bit here and there to a situation. But the thing is, it doesn't have that last panic, or it doesn't have that last effort that it takes to get this thing, bloody hell, going forward into something long term, something more stable, something where there is prosperity. It lacks something here, right? And that's what I see. But then what up with the Knight of Pentacles, Cups there? Is the cup fucking empty? It is an offer, but it's a small one. That's what I get here. It's small. I'm not saying stop trying, give up or anything. I'm just saying this is a Knight of Cups. There's someone here who brings a message of like diplomacy, of trying to heal. He's a bloody healer. He's a Reiki healer, whatever. Sorry, nothing there, right? But it's this message of trying to heal the situation here. But something is a little bit blocked there. It's a new start that's coming here, and therefore conclusions are within reach. You have prosperity ahead. And I see, all right, so let's take a positive approach on this, and that is that something here comes. An opportunity, but someone here has to grab it. If you know, that's the energy we have now. Someone here has got to bloody hell grab the opportunity while it's on the table. Are they too much in their head? I question that. And then I have this, what it is that you're thinking about is that you focused on this person here who is very, very rational, very realistic, and they're saying no because they don't see the prosperity in it. I still see someone here continuing to give to the situation. It's like trying to heal the situation a little bit. But love and pragmatics, it's like a temporary fix. You know what I mean? Not to say there's something to give up, but I see the situation being balanced. I see something here coming your way. It's your strength to help balance out the situation. That's what you don't really see here. Your strength is also your capacity to give, to heal situations. You continue to give and continue to give. You have that capacity. You have that capacity to actually have the gifts of balancing shit out, to be a fucking diplomat if you have to, right? But what I look here is that I see a communication coming. It's a sweet, heartfelt communication. It's a small communication of someone here wanting to belong, but and that the end of a situation is here, so you can move forward, and you can do so with no strings attached, no commitments. It's basically a communication about there being no commitment. So that brings a lot of freedom here to the table. But so you're not bound by the same contract. You're not bound by the same responsibilities either. And if that is what it is that you want, then that is fine. But if you are looking for that long-term here, the long-term commitment, then this it's a loving offer. Yes. Does it bring the stability you need? can it grow into something? All right, Leo. That is what I have here for you. Don't be discouraged by it. I know these readings can be rough sometimes. But does it mean that don't be discouraged. Just, keep this open mind. Keep this open mind and just be curious about these energies. Be curious about them. Alright? Remember, this could play out in relation to, it could be a parent that gives promises that are just not reliable. It can be a boss that wants to offer you a contract that's not going to give you the stability you need in the long term. They want to hire you as a bloody consultant or something like that, where you're not getting the same benefits. It can be a lover, a new lover here, that potential romantic partner that comes in and wants to offer some sort of a healing, but they are not there to stay. They are there only for a short while. That's how these energies can unfold. It can be a friend who is unreliable, or you're trying to invest with a friend here, and just make sure that you're on the same page, right? All right, so that's what I have for you, Leo. I will see you next time. Take care.